Hi, my name's Matt. I'm going to be doing a movie review for Django Unchained. So, Django Unchained starred Jamie Foxx and Leonardo DiCaprio. That's about all I care to mention, all the big time actors that I care about. I thought this movie deserved 6 out of 10. Just really disappointed me. Thought it was going to be more like Glorious Bastards. Glorious Bastards had a scene in the beginning, the first 20 minutes, where it felt like a different movie than the rest of it. It felt like that first 20 minutes could be a movie, in itself. And there was none of that with Django Unchained. It was just violence and shit, in my opinion. Yeah, the dialogue didn't do much for me at all. So many scenes where there's just chitter chatter about bullshit, and my interest just went elsewhere. I just really had a hard time paying attention to this film, and I'm not somebody who usually loses, attention in film unless it's pretty damn bad. Felt like the only thing that was holding this movie on was the violence. There were scenes where, there's so much like evil and violence going on, and Jamie Foxx just wants to break out and shoot his gun, but he doesn't, and you're just waiting for him to, and that's the only thing you're waiting for this movie to fucking pick up and do something. Cinematography wasn't good at all. I guess nice landscapes really that stood out to me. The only thing I can think of in my mind is that big, mountain range there in front of, and Jamie Foxx is riding out to it, and it's just nothing really, surprised me with the visuals. It just wasn't, that beautiful. I guess it kind of had that rustic feel of an old, Western movie. I guess he was doing a homage to those, and I guess he did a good job with that, making it feel like a Western. So yeah, my favorite scene out of this movie is, I guess, when Django gets his revenge on everybody, and he just starts fucking shooting up everybody he can, including Quentin Tarantino in that one scene where he's playing this Australian guy, and yeah, I enjoyed, seeing him get his revenge, and, he loved it, and it was cool. I enjoyed, just non-stop violence, I can be a fan of it, for sure. I'm not a slasher movie guy. I'm more of I like seeing some violence and some messed up stuff, but I like for the movie to go other ways too. I don't like it to just linger around and be a slasher film, So yeah, he did good on the action, but yeah, other times I felt it's why isn't Jamie Foxx getting shot? And it felt so fake, it really did sometimes, where you're watching him shoot and you're okay, he's shooting at them, but he's not getting shot. What the fuck? But yeah, I guess that's just something you gotta deal with his kind of movies. Yeah, look like a video game. That's the way I kind of describe his violence. It just looks like a fucking, gore fest. All this blood splurting everywhere, unrealistically, and it just kind of felt out of place, I guess. And they would have rap music playing in this movie that's a Western. It's definitely this movie is definitely a new age kind of Western. It's got some retro stuff, but it's this is the new age take on it, and I hated it. I just couldn't stand this movie. I just couldn't stand it. I'm gonna give this a 5. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 6. I give it a 5. It's just that bad. I just hated it. I don't go too low, because when you go lower than 5, you're saying that the director doesn't know what he's doing, the writer doesn't know what he's doing, blah 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 blah. I'm not saying Quentin Tarantino is bad. There is parts of this movie I liked, but hated it as a whole. You know, I mean, when I was finally done, it's like, thank God. Whew. So the music, yeah, I mean, it had some 70s music and some songs that were kind of, kind of cool and like kind of hit me off guard. So, but other than that, like the rap music and other stuff they chose to play were just bad. Quentin Tarantino never really does much for me with the music. He didn't really get good music. I'm noticing with Quentin Tarantino's films that he's like having the same scenes. He'll have this scene where like everybody's trying to act calm and try to act like they're not going to kill each other, and that's all that happens. Like everybody's putting up this front and like, oh, we're just talking, blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 everybody gets shot. And happens in every one of his movies, and I guess it's just a style. I'm just getting sick of it. I liked Reservoir Dogs. I liked Pulp Fiction. I don't like Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, the Kill Bill shit. I mean, he was involved in something else like that I didn't like either. But he just has, that talent. It's just he's just not putting it where it needs to be. There's a scene where we're gonna go kill Jamie Foxx, and there's all these guys riding with these hoods, and they start talking about wanting to take them off because they can't see, and that just kind of reminded me of a lot of different scenes in this film that fell out of place because like the way people talked, the way things happened, it just felt like it wasn't back in that time period. It just felt like it was, sort of back in that time period, but like, we were talking like we do now. And I just, didn't enjoy all that really. He just made it feel like not how it should be, Western should be authentic. Leonardo DiCaprio did a good job in this movie. He really hated his guts, and he accidentally broke that glass cup and he got his hand all bleeding. I think that was an accident. I mean, I rewinded that when that happens, and I was like, whoa, looks like he just made a mistake right there. And he just went with it. I thought it was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I mean, he was just, couldn't ask any more of him, I guess. Yeah, the blood and gore was pretty fun. The movie was fun for that reason, Like, I wish this movie was just more of a violence fest. It just needed to be less story and more just gore, 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 gore. Violence, violence. Shit. Just all over the place. Just, it didn't need to be this Western homage. I didn't see it. I didn't see this movie. I don't know why people really like Quentin right now. It's just making movies that aren't really gonna have something like, authentic about them. I just feel like they're just not much. I just feel like they're kind of amateur films. Yeah, just the way this movie was made. I mean, I'm not saying like it doesn't look, like a real film, but it's just, it just looked pretty unprofessional, and you didn't, honestly, I just didn't care about any of the people. I mean, there's usually, every time I watch a movie, I'm gonna care about everybody I see, but with this one, I could just give a fuck. For me, I felt like this movie was so scripted. It just felt like these actors were just saying their role, and that was it. It was just, it didn't feel that real, except Leonardo's performance. I did feel that, and I guess Jamie Foxx too. But man, when Quentin came in there, he just didn't impress me, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just end it with that. Yeah, 5 out of 10, and I'll be back next time.